on our talking point right now, we wanted to mention, talk about the casino rules. And when we play at home like this, practicing, working on our strategy and trying to play better blackjack, we play the exact same rules they play in the casino. And that means we use 6 decks of cards, just like in the casino. And in the casino, you have to pick out the table you're going to play at. Not by blackjack or Mississippi stud or whatever. The different blackjack is not the same on every table. They have different rules. And one of them, a biggie, that will be in the same casino at different tables, is what blackjack pays. The one that's the most advantageous to you is you want to play is where the blackjack pays 3-2. So that means if you bet $100 and you get a blackjack, you are going to get $100 for your main bet and the extra 2. You get paid 3-2. And here's another way to look at it. 2, 2, and 3. So you get 3 for those 2. That's 3-2, and that's what you want to play. Some of the tables in the same casino will have 6-5 blackjack. And usually it's in the lower limit tables, like the minimum $5, minimum $10 ones. And I always kind of think the casino does that because the people that are playing that are basically rookies. And they don't, they think, well, 6-5, 3-2, what's the difference? And I'll show you what the difference is. If you get a blackjack, you bet $100, and you get a blackjack at 6-5, they're going to give you your $100 plus the $5 for the 6-5. So if you bet $100 and you get a blackjack, you are going to get $120 at 6-5. If you play blackjack at 3-2 and get a blackjack, you are going to get 150 is your payoff. So would you rather have 150 or 120? And you got to figure over the course of the evening, how many blackjacks are you going to get? Hopefully a bunch. And if you do, every time it's $30 difference. So if you're betting 50, it's $20 difference. So, I mean, it makes a lot of difference over the course of the evening. But the kicker is you have to play at a table where 6-5, or where 3-2 is what they pay, and it's usually at what they call a higher limit. And in our casino, they consider $25 minimum as a higher limit. And another point is that the dealer, you'll see it, dealer hits on soft 17. And other tables, it'll be dealer stands on all 17s. It's better. You have a little better advantage if you're playing the dealer hit soft 17. So, that's something to look for. I don't think it's a particularly game-changing one, but you're better off if a dealer hits soft 17. It is that if you're playing a hand, you have a pair of 9s, and the dealer has a 6. So you split the 9s. You make 2 hands out of it, and you've bet an equal amount on your second card. Well, if this one you have a 9, if you get a 2, for instance, so all of a sudden you have 11, you can double down. Some casinos allow that and some don't. Though the one we go to, they do allow that. And it's to your advantage because when the advantage is towards you, you want to get as much money in there as possible. That don't mean you always win, but it's your advantage. And these things really add up over the course of an evening. So you want to play where you can double down after you split. And another thing is that if you're playing at a $25 minimum table, one hand, $25, that's the minimum. So say if you want to play two hands, the way the rules are, you have to play double the minimum to play two hands. So if $25 minimum table means you have to, and you want to play two hands, you have to play $50 minimum on each hand. And that, really kicks it up quite a bit, because going from 25 to 100 is a big jump. You have to make sure your bankroll can sustain that if you start losing, because it's a lot more. And we do it, usually our strategy is at a $25 minimum table, we'll bet 25 as our minimum. We'll bet 50 as our minimum. And that way, if we go to two hands, it's not as much of a shock. 50 to 100 is not as bad as 25 to 100. And the other thing is, if you're playing 25 minimum, one chip, and you go to two hands, 50 apiece, and you lose a couple of them, you say, well, I'm going to go back to one hand. Well, when you go back to one hand, now you're down to $25. If you win this hand, you're only getting $25. And that seems kind of puny. Where if you're at 50, you've been at two hands for 50 apiece, that's 100. You go back to one hand, at least playing double the minimum on your one hand is in line with what you've been playing already. It's not such a shock. So those are our little betting tips, and the idea that we play casino rules, and just like in the casinos, nothing's going to be different when you watch us play. So now that we've explained that, that's our talking point for today. Okay.
All right.
Pull your chips out of the way. All right.